Just roll up.
We've rolled up. We're on.
Do it, roll up.
Welcome
Thanks.
to episode 92 of the Jungle Brothers podcast.
92.
92, bro.
Get out of town.
Yeah.
Why didn't you bring me in for the 100 to make it like
Still could happen.
special?
Yeah. Well, if yeah.
But
Maybe
you brought me in for 92. You could have waited 8 more
92 is
podcasts.
a lucky number on the Chinese numerological.
No, it's not. You know you're making it.
It means
You're
great
making it
prosperity.
up.
And
Now it is.
Can I leave and come back in a couple of weeks? No, thank you for having me. It's good to see you guys again.
We've replaced Tiora with our boy Firass. Welcome, bro.
Thank you for having me. Where is Tiora? I thought he was going to be here. Tiora, I miss you, man.
He went camping.
He went
Emergency camping trip.
Emergency
with his
camping
family.
trip. Well, thanks for having me, man.
Bro, pleasure. Been wanting to catch up with you for ages.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a few years since I've been here. I think the last time I saw you, I gave you a Jean-Claude Van Damme portrait
Yeah, that's right.
in the back of the car.
This guy right here that you dropped off.
I thought it would go well in your office, and it looks, mate, it looks priceless.
Spectacular in here.
I love him.
Yeah, we're just admiring the JCVD poster and talking about how we loved having that shit on our walls back as a teenager.
As a kid.
It was wild.
I know.
I went through that phase and then I went through the cars.
Right.
And I had all the like 4-cylinder souped up vehicles.
Did you go through the cars?
I did.
The rotaries?
I wasn't into rotaries.
Nah. Are they the same thing?
No,
No.
bro.
Bro, I don't know
obviously
anything
didn't.
about cars.
Rotaries like
I don't know anything about cars.
Rotaries like its own family of like right because
Yeah.
it's a different engine to a cylinder driven
That's
engine.
why it's called a rotary, right?
It's a rotary.
Yeah.
And it's a Mazda thing.
Uh-huh.
But no, I liked all the like Japanese 4-cylinder vehicles like Toyotas and Nissans and
Suzuki's?
shit.
That's not a Japanese.
They're Japanese, but they didn't really pop up on my spectrum
Yeah,
at that
right.
time. However,
Okay.
I can get around it. I like the new Jimny.
I don't know anything about Suzuki's, bro. I don't know anything about cars. I wasn't into cars growing up, but I was definitely into, like Van Damme. I was into Bruce Lee. I was into Jackie Chan, Muhammad Ali, Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, all those
You've
kind of
just
guys.
named all of my list.
Yeah, man, all those people. Like,
You had the comedians, them going at the same time as the martial artists?
yeah. Same time, like I was a big fan of Bruce Lee coming up. I think I saw all his films, used to emulate, impersonate him. I thought he was something special, even when you listen to him speak, you just get captivated by this guy.
Totally.
Like you're mesmerized by this person's energy, man. Like, did you know he died at 32, man?
It was 32.
32.
Crazy, huh?
Mysterious
What were
circumstances.
you doing
huh?
at 32?
Bro, I was
Like, I'm just saying.
yeah, I was like PTing some people, hanging out. Like, that's right. What did you achieve by then?
Amazing. Like, just to think about his body of work and his philosophies,
He also
he's just
cut his
incredible.
way into the American film industry, didn't he? As an Asian.
That's right.
Man.
He
Good
did.
looking Asian man.
Yes. They wouldn't allow him in.
Dude, I when I was in Hong Kong, I don't know, maybe it was 3 or 4 years ago, I went to there's a Bruce Lee exhibition there at a museum that's actually it's hard to get to when you're in like central Hong Kong. It's a little bit of a trip to get there, but it has I don't know what the deal is. It was like a short-term exhibition, as in a couple of years, and then they'd extended it because it was some person's private collection of Bruce Lee things.
Yeah.
But I teared up in there. They had like,
Dang.
I legitimately did. I was like,
Hey,
oh,
it is.
fuck.
It's emotional, man, because
You're
it's
looking at his like,
childhood.
journals and shit, like
Yeah.
his diaries, and he's writing,
Handwritten and
taking
stuff.
notes about like Olympic weightlifting and wrestling and, like mobility tech, like all the shit that we're doing. And you're like, fuck, this guy was ahead of his time, and you're also looking at a thing that he wrote by hand, Yeah, it's crazy.
Discipline at a phenomenal, astronomical level,
Yes.
right? Like, it would have been hard to be with Bruce Lee.
Yes.
You know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? I was
Yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about his wife.
Yeah.
And
it
his kid.
didn't look fun for them.
It wouldn't have been a walk in the park. It wouldn't have been all roses and daisies and rainbows.
We
You know what
know
I'm
that
saying?
these creative types can be hard to be around sometimes.
But he was
For
also
us.
he was creative. He was creative, man. He was a writer. He was a obviously
Dancer.
it was a
Philosopher.
But also, yeah, man. Like he worked out. Like he had his own philosophy that he was
Trying and testing.
expressing. So yeah, he's beyond his years, but it would have been hard to be in that household because he would have been at a level where it was hard to kind of meet, and to have those expectations from you would have been tough. But you know,
how do you think he died?
Look, I saw another documentary not long ago, and she was his wife was talking about him, and she said he just died from that aspirin, from that thing. He just had a headache, and he just.
You don't think she's been bought by the
the CIA,
Chinese, the triads,
the triads,
with the secret death touch because he was teaching the secret techniques to the Americans?
What's your conspiracy? Tell me your conspiracy.
Oh,
I always thought there was something at 32 who would die with such a legacy and such power, right?
That's right.
I always thought there was something, but then, you know, sometimes that the unexpected happens, and sometimes people can't believe it. You know, because they're put there. You know, when we idolize such amazing practitioners, and for them to just go out like that,
You think they're untouchable.
They're untouchable, invincible.
Godly. Yeah, it sounds shady, but shit does happen like that.
Well, the conspiracy theory was back in the day that the because he was, and they portray this in the film Dragon, right? With it was Jason Lee, wasn't it? Where he was. Whoever the kind of heads of Chinese kung fu were, they weren't into Bruce Lee taking that to America. He was kind of one of the first guys to take it to America, start teaching Americans kung fu, and they're
open,
and they're like, no,
transparent about it.
They're like, this is a Chinese thing, and so the conspiracy theory was that they put a hit out on him, and that someone came in and killed him with like some secret move that can't be like picked up in an autopsy. I'm like, 100% that happened. That definitely fucking happened. I love conspiracy theories.
Yeah, me too.
But no, it does sound like it was the aspirin.
Yeah, and because the way she said it as well, the way she relayed the information was, he just died. He died in that ambulance,
and you
that
believe
was
her,
and I believed her, man. Like she wasn't like she's been through that. She's been through the decades of conspiracy theorists and people going, and that must send you loopy, man. It must send that whole family crazy to go, can we stop? Can we just actually stop? The guy was probably low in some kind of levels, and he took this thing, and he carked it in that ambulance. And it's like,
happens.
It happens.
The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Oh,
has been said.
Very Daniel. It brings out the gems and the diamonds.
Do you know that?
I like that.
Where's that from? Movie guy?
Oh shit. Is it Bruce Lee?
No.
It's not Bruce Lee.
It's Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. It's
the Russian guy, the German.
Rutger.
Rutger, yeah.
Yeah, the main replicant.
I haven't seen Blade.
Well, actually, no, it's
Blade
Tyrell.
Runner.
Tyrell, his creator, says that to him.
Right. Well, say it again.
The candle that burns twice as bright burns half as long.
Burns half as long.
Because he's trying to tell him, because that's the whole premise of the
light
film is
that
he's
burns
expiring.
twice as bright burns half as long.
Yeah.
Damn, that's good.
That's good, isn't it?
I like that.
And he's telling him that in this moment.
Does that mean I'm going to die soon?
Well, I couldn't help but think. There's a lot of.
Thanks for that, Joe. It's a nice way to start a conversation.
Bro, you just got done with
I got done.
You got done with SAS.
I've been done a lot.
I YouTubed
You YouTubed
Firass Dirani SAS last night.
Yeah.
And there was a fuckload of stuff for me to look at.
There was a lot.
Fill me in.
Yeah.
The villain.
Fill me in.
The villain.
The villain.
The bad guy.
Well, you know, Joe, you guys were in the industry, so I met you guys.
True, we were trained soldiers.
You were trained soldiers in the thespian and the film and TV industry. Look, man, I've been in the game 25 years. But also, I think that what I noticed, I was going to go in not knowing what this show is about. Everyone's like, have you watched the show? Have you read the books? I said, no. And I was with
it's a British show?
It's a UK show.
Right.
So it's UK commandos. I think they've shot like 7 seasons over there. And they're bringing it, Channel 7 bought it. And so I was with a girl at the time. She goes, well, you should watch. You should watch the show, you know, because then you know what you're getting yourself into. I said, yeah, but then it's not real. Then I'm actually predicting and it's contrived. I know what's coming.
Playing
I
the rules.
I want to be thrown in. So I never watched any of it. Right? I didn't know who these guys are. I walked in there blinded. Right?
Nice.
All the other guys have seen the entire they watched the shows and they've read the books
And
and
research the fuck out of it.
and they're mad idolizing these cats, right? You bring idols and conquering and dividing and people that want to serve the idols. It doesn't serve for a good show. I just went in there and just reacted the way I wanted to like normally.
So
then it was for them. It was weird. They found it unusually real.
Right, that you actually just doing what you do.
Yeah, just being real.
Right.
Like how? Why are you so submissive straight away?
Yeah.
Like, are you that submissive? Like, yes, we understand this is an oppressive environment here, but you're still you. You're still Joe coming in.
Oh,
I
they
see
were
what
being
you're saying.
submissive.
Yeah,
because they're like,
yeah,
it's your
they were being
authority.
submissive. It was like you need
We'll
to
do anything you say.
Yeah.
Yes,
well,
sir.
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
3 bags, sir.
Yep.
But I'm
Don't
like,
fuck with
still,
it. You
it's
push back, yeah?
Yeah, I'll push back. I'm
Yeah.
like, calm down, mate.
dare you.
Relax. You don't have to call me names, all
Yeah.
that.
I can get this done.
I'll get it done. Just, I can be confident and
But those guys, because they'd seen it before, they're playing to that
They were
relationship.
playing.
And the producers know it, they know it, and they've already written the script for themselves. Like, they wanted to be beat down and tortured a bit because that's what people like to watch.
What's the premise of the show?
The premise of the show is they invited, I think it was like 16 celebrities, and they had 4 commandos, and it's basically what it would be like to pass SAS training, Special Air Service, which is a UK service. I think it's commandos here in Australia. So it's it's sleep deprivation, cold therapy, food deprivation, exhaustion, belittling, antagonizing, all that.
Yeah.
And see how much you can
Like
handle
any good
physically.
kind of fitness class.
Yeah, any
good
good
workout.
yeah, exactly. But I think it was the cold that kind of made people miserable.
Were you in the UK?
They couldn't. No, we were meant to shoot it in Queenstown earlier last year, but COVID brought us back. So it was the whole world was shutting down. So they said, okay, we kind of, they got everyone to Queenstown, and then everyone said, okay, actually we need to fly you back home because COVID is spreading and the whole world is shutting down. So we came back and then we shot it in Jindabyne.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Fucking cool.
really cool.
So
It looked like the UK out there.
Did it?
Like, yeah, kind of rolling mountains and streams and shit.
It was cold, man. It was really cold. I think that no one knew what they were expecting. I remember the first day we jumped out of that helicopter, and I remember the girls going, "Holy shit! This is I wasn't expecting this." Like, you can see their faces kind of peel back. They were wearing makeup, trying to look.
You had Chappelle with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't believe she's a celebrity.
Bro, I can't.
And it said, I saw it, and it's
Where
like
do you want me to
Chappelle
start?
Colby.
I just was
and it
like,
said,
they've invited
former
Chappelle,
Bali
man.
mate.
I'm like, really? To sell
Right.
newspapers?
I had no idea.
To sell newspapers?
Yeah.
I mean, let her heal.
Fuck.
Jesus
Let her
Christ.
heal, man. She doesn't need to be on a TV show and be exploited on a TV show, And she didn't even train. I think they gave her like 2 weeks notice or something. She walked in. I'm like, you
Done
should
a
not.
couple of F45 classes. I'm ready.
Exactly. I'm like, you should not
Throw me
be
in there.
here, man.
So
Yeah,
is the idea that like there's a winner or something like that, or
Well,
people
they
get voted off, or
decide. They decide
and they kick people off as you go?
as you go. Well,
Okay.
no. The idea is you voluntarily withdraw. So you take your number off and you go, I've had enough. That's what you do. You VW.
That's what they're trying
Right?
to
So
do.
they try to break you physically, mentally, emotionally, whatever, physiologically,
Yeah.
and then you go, I've had enough. Here's my number.
Yeah.
I never did that. They culled me. They just cut me.
Oh, they asked you to leave.
Yeah.
Everyone else,
yes.
Not really.
Well, well, it's the what am I going to do?
Yeah.
So that was the controversy.
You know I'm the toughest here.
Yeah. So they legitimately said, they're like, you got to go.
They said they just said you got to go.
And so they asked you to do it.
Huh?
They asked you to take your number off and submit it, and you're like, I'm not fucking doing that. Is that what kind of happened behind the scenes?
No, the thing is, I was in shock. I was actually in shock. I was like, I never knew I was actually going to be culled. Like there was no way in my right mind that I was the weakest. I was like the front runner. Like I was.
You're a fucking athlete.
I was. It was me and Nick Badger. That's for me. It was.
He was the NRL player.
Yeah.
And great legs.
Rugby player.
Bad upper body strength.
Okay.
Great legs.
Terrible push-ups.
No, just no upper body strength. It's the balance is off balance, right? But I just feel they had a narrative for people from the beginning.
Yeah, sure.
Like they wanted it to follow a certain path.
A certain narrative.
Right.
Right. So when I started talking back, they said, okay, we're gonna paint him this. We want Nick and some of these other guys to go through. I think they're gonna finish. So any of my successes, like me killing it, they cut.
Oh, wow.
They cut all of my successes.
They didn't show that.
They didn't show zero successes, and I was killing it, right? Zero, because that's not the show. The show is being weak. You got to be weak. You got to be emotionally fragile.
I can't do it anymore. I'm going to hand you my number. Like I think
I want more.
Yes.
No, that's not a good show. That's not the show we're making.
Yeah.
We want him out.
Yeah.
He's going to finish.
Was the social stuff like they had cameras behind the scenes, like when you're resting, sleeping?
There was there was cameras. It was like Big Brother. They had like
you're in the house
240 cameras. We were living in a shed. There was no area where you weren't filmed. You were filmed in you going to the bathroom. The bathrooms were just like this bucket. There was no spaces where you could hide. Everything was filmed 24/7. There was no break. There wasn't like producers coming on and going, this is what you got to do now. No, there was none of that. There was no controlling by the producers or narrative by the producers. The Commandos ran it, but I definitely think the Commandos and the producers had a bloodline where they were going, okay, this is what you got to do now. Okay, I think you can cut him. We've had enough of him. He's going to finish. We weren't thinking he's going to, we thought he's going to do 1 or 2 days. And he was
fucked up. He's too strong. Yeah, totally. Well, they have to, right? They have to have that. Like they've got to be working in cahoots.
Completely.
Yeah.
Completely. And I saw I knew they were going to do that initially. Like I knew they were going to paint me in a certain light, even though, I just accepted it. I accepted the fact that this is going to be my narrative and I can't do anything about it, But people will come back because I'm going to be as real as I can. They're going to try to paint me, but I started going, well, cut around this.
What do you mean?
I used to, I would be making decisions where it was like, try to cut around this.
Yes.
In the edit.
Yeah.
I know how to edit. Cut around this. I dare you. You feel me? Because if you cut around this, you have no episode.
Yes.
So I dare you to cut around this. That's the only way I could win.
Right.
You feel me? Because I could feel the tides turning, and they're playing these characters against me. I'm like, okay, well, I got to do something so I continue my public profile.
Yeah.
So because if they're going to paint me into
you
this weird,
use it to fight back.
No, I'm not a listener, and I'm against authority and all these. I have to do something that's hopefully I can make the tide turn.
So. How did they end up writing that? How did it play out?
I didn't do enough.
Yeah.
I didn't do enough. Shit.
How did they edit it and how did they show your exit?
They just culled me, man.
You just were in one episode and then you weren't in the next?
Yeah, I was in 10 episodes and then they said, okay, we're culling 2 people today because they're the weak. It's just they're playing characters, man.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is the Ant, the guy.
Middleton, Foxy.
This was him that cut you?
Yeah.
Right. He comes out. It's a ceremonial thing.
Yeah, it's a ceremony. Yeah, so we've got 2 people that are going to cut today because, obviously there's so many people and people aren't VWing. And so we're going to cut Candace and we're going to cut Firass. See you later.
And what did you say?
By that time, I was just like, I was feeling like, do I put a show on now?
Yeah. Or has your time come?
Like, do I go, what is this? Like, do I go out as that?
Yes.
And where they have more material? Where they go,
Yes.
Look how, he's just a sore
Look how
loser.
villainous he is.
Yes.
Like, I wasn't even that villainous and they tried to paint me up. Imagine if I did more. I mean, you know how many times I'm about to explode on these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Either the commando calling me names or I'm like, can't keep it cool. Practice mindfulness because they're already going to paint you up. Anyway, imagine you did some gangster shit. What are they going to do then? They're going to go, see, we told you. We told you he's this. So I had to, it was also a practice in mindfulness as well. I'm like, breathe in, it's all good.
Couldn't go full Kanye on it.
Bro,
Do you reckon you could have taken? Do you reckon could you have taken Ant Middleton?
look, I don't think he's tougher than me, but I think real recognizes real, and I think that's what he showed at the end. He's a successful guy, and I respect what he does, but I think fabric sees fabric, But I'm not saying I'm tougher than him, but I'm sure and I feel that, we can be on similar playing fields, definitely.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. So what were give us a couple of the run-ins, like a couple of the kind of moments that they used to paint you as a villain. I understand you had a couple, like with a couple of particular characters, you had some beef.
Yeah, there was a few characters.
Do you care to share any of those?
Look, it was after the fact that the show was finished and we were doing media, and I think people, someone called me a sociopath. I was like, I just took it to heart.
It was Merrick Watts, wasn't it?
No, it was the other guy, the PT guy.
Shannon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The PT.
Was
guy.
he a competitor?
He was a competitor.
And Merrick Watts was a competitor as well?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was kind of took offense to that because, I'm a family guy, I care about my friends. I'm all about heart and generous and being compassionate to people. That's one of my foundations and my pillars in my life. That's what I've always sewn into my foundation. And for someone to call me a sociopath, it tickled me funny, So I went in on him.
Served him.
On the show?
No, just on radio and TV and whatever. I just said,
Yes.
I said, take those Maori tattoos off you. Hey, just because I served you on that show, don't get pissed off with me, bro. Because I served, bro. Bro, honestly, I'm telling you, athletes and Olympians, man.
Oh.
It just gave me more confidence in what I already know. That's and it's not about what the media labels you. It's about what you you believe in yourself, man. That's what gave me the confidence. I knew I have the resilience and I have the mental capacity to move forward and to withhold pressure or whatever. But now I've seen it. I've seen that. I've seen the fear, and I've seen bigger guys have mad fear, man. And it's beautiful to watch.
I'd imagine that. I'd imagine that you got some fans out of this, like, because I know you, and I can see that show. And I feel like I know what that show would have looked like, and having someone like you, a fox amongst all the pussy hens, I would have loved to see. You would have gained some fans and some public support during that time, like when it happened.
Yeah. I think all the negative energy that I received, the trolls, Dude, and I don't have any bad words for these people because, like, I feel for them because it's a mental health issue, right? When you despise someone and you haven't even met them, it's an issue within yourself. No matter what, if you said something to me about Joe, and I haven't met Joe, you think I'm going to take that and go, okay, maybe I've known you for 20 years. I might take it into account.
Yeah.
But I need to meet Joe for me to understand him, see his philosophy, his ideas, his foundation, his core. I need to meet this guy. I'm not going to just go off a whim.
People do though.
Media especially.
Oh, media.
Media is, dude, News Corp, they don't care about if you're good or bad. They just want to write stories,
Headlines.
mate. Like, even if you are good, I don't even care about being loved or hated anymore. It's the same frequency. Because you can be in a show that they paint you up to be an amazing guy and everyone's like, oh, I love him. You're still affected. You're still affected because you listen to these. It's propaganda, positive or negative. You still got to be discerning, man. No matter in what you read and what you see and whatever it is, you never judge someone. You only ever get to know someone is when you take the time, the patience to get to know someone. You ask questions, you understand who they are, their family, their extended family, their friends. That's when you understand someone, not from social media or the newspaper or all that. Wake up, man. Come on, we shouldn't be talking about this in 2021, you know?
So you don't have a problem with trolls?
No.
No, I wouldn't imagine.
man,
Surely that's been a part of your life because you got you're a celebrity, you got online presence.
I've
been
never
dealing
had
with trolls for a long time.
I haven't had trolls until last year.
Damn.
Until that show.
Yeah, I haven't had trolls till last
Because I
year.
fucking hated Power Rangers, bro. I want to
that's
start
all right.
trolling them that shit a long time ago.
You should have trolled me. You had 15 years of trolling me, Joe. You
I
missed
think
out
you
on
look like a
15
pussy
years.
in that outfit. ...
Bro, they are.
Eat a dick.
Can I say, bro? Before you say, can I say something? They are the craziest, maddest fans. And I want to say something. I went to a convention last year, or maybe a year and a half ago, and you know they some of these guys, you know, they are special, man. I, honestly, because they're not. Some of them are just, in a sense, like, you know, that they. I don't even want to say it, but they are special human beings in the sense that there's the most non-judgmental fan base I've ever met, because some are dealing with Asperger's and autism, but dude, just sobering.
Just like pure adoration.
No, not even, but like also, yeah, but also
for the show,
but
like
for,
no
but for the show, but for life as well and what they love. You know,
Kinda
not
innocence.
just for me. Yeah, the innocence.
Yeah.
You know, the innocence was just like really heart, you know, just heartwarming, you know?
Every time I post something on my social media about you, I get a bunch of comments from an account, Mystic Power Ranger, something.
Yeah.
And he's always like, ha, Firass, like, love that guy, or, you know, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I didn't know you were on Power Rangers.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to figure out, and then I was like, oh, holy shit, this guy like follows, I don't know how he follows, but he follows your network.
I don't know how they do that. I can't even figure that out. I don't know how they follow the hashtag, or it's something. It's inside job, but I don't know how to do that. But they're amazing, man.
So no trolls from the early days. It's only a new.
No trolls from the early days. Trolls from last year, from the Australian public.
You know what they say? If you're getting the trolls, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, look, it was, but I got more support from that, and people started seeing the you know, the engineering of the show.
Yeah.
You know, how it's pieced together and kind of fabricated, and how they try to paint people in a different light. But that's TV, man.
That's reality TV.
That's reality TV. That's drama TV. That's comedy. You know, even this podcast. You're gonna cut and choose what you're gonna put in it, right? You're gonna edit the entertaining bits, the fun bits, the bits that aren't that engaging, you might cut out. You
I
might
tend
cut
to
me
edit out all the bits where I'm not talking.
Yeah.
Play those bits. No, we don't edit this show.
Oh, you don't edit the show.
Not at all.
But we curate.
Oh, that's cool.
No, we
the
do.
way
It's
through.
just on, but
Yeah.
we recurate who we get on, right? Like
Yeah.
it's fabricated to a degree
It's curation.
on that kind of larger sort of scale.
Yeah.
Paulie, did you work in any reality TV back in the day?
I worked on Survivor.
You did too.
I did one season of it. And I hadn't watched the show, and it was
Yeah.
already like 20 seasons in or whatever.
Yeah.
And I went out there. My brother was the head lighting guy and still is on Survivor. He's been doing it for like, I don't know, over 10 years now. They just travel the world. And I had never done it, didn't care for it because I was working in film mainly, except that they were going to Brazil. So I was getting around the world tickets. I was like, hell, I'm going to Brazil for 3-4 months. But yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Hard work or stuck on an island. Yeah, but it is an
It
right?
was, yeah.
I mean, how did you find it? You saw the people that, you met the
Yeah.
actual people and how they were painted and
Kind
did
of,
you
not
find-
really, because
No?
if you think about like the setup with lighting and whatnot, there's not a great deal of lighting out in the field.
Right.
Got a whole bunch of camera crews with a sound operator and an assistant. There's like 13 teams working around the clock, but that's all out there.
Yeah.
With just a reflector type thing. We were doing like the tribal
Right.
council mainly.
Yeah.
And any kind of little areas that they go to for prize nights or whatever. I did go out a few times though, and I watched the SEG producers working, and it's very contrived. Like they're
Yeah.
whispering, they're putting people together, and you talk about the contestants coming on with ideas of how this plays out and knowing the rules and not being reactionary to things in a very genuine way. I mean, Survivor had so many episodes.
Yeah.
Seasons rather, like they go on and they ham everything up. It's
Yeah.
like all the physical stuff's pretty real. Like there's no food, you can't drink in front of them, nothing, and they're like skinny, and all that business. But there was a lot of people piecing couples together, people together, and whispering. They talk a lot to the contestants. The
Right.
producers do.
Yeah. They try to navigate
Yes.
the narrative.
Yeah.
It's like you saying now, like you said, skinny, I can take that soundbite,
Yes.
lay it over some
Yes.
footage of, I don't know, your missus or your mum. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And you're like, hang on, I didn't say that about Joe.
About her?
And
I love her.
I love her. I did not say she needs to do this. And it's like you're taking the context, you're taking the soundbite
Yes.
from a certain context.
Totally.
And
Happens all the time.
engineering it onto a whole different story.
Put a bit of dramatic
That's what
music
it
behind
is.
it.
I know editing too. I've done some over
You know
time,
it.
and so do you.
Yeah.
And even the sound in between, like the silence in between a question and an answer, that can even, if you change the length of that, shorter or faster, it changes how it's received or the attitude in which it's responded
More
to.
direct.
More direct.
More obnoxious.
Or more like
comedic.
dramatic pause. It's just like, yeah.
It's a craft. It's an art. It's an art form, right? Lacing people up.
It's dangerous. It can be dangerous.
It's dangerous.
It is very dangerous.
It is, and then that's what and that's one of the reasons I did it is because I
powerful.
thought it was legitimate. Coming from the UK, I thought these
you're
guys
like,
were legitimate.
I'll just put my best foot forward.
Yeah,
And I'll fucking smash this thing.
They'll
Exactly.
reward me for my
Because
honesty.
it would
my
appeal
realness.
to any athletic guy who considers himself to have a bit of metal. You'd be like, fuck, I'll give that a go.
Yeah.
I'll do good.
yeah, I'll do good.
Yeah.
I'll participate.
But you know what they say, bro? Sometimes your best is not good enough.
Thanks. That's all I needed today is some confidence.
Man, talk to me about so our relationship
Yeah.
is we met, actually you and I met through the film industry.
Yeah, what?
Do you remember that shoot?
What was it?
Dude, it was a shoot. It was some kind of commercial.
Yeah.
It was at a house on it was at the top of Oxford Street.
Oh, with
Near the
Steve
Centennial?
Bastoni.
Yeah, Steve was Angel. Police Rescue. That's
Yeah.
Steve Bastoni, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a whole crew, a whole cast of Aussie kind of iconic film people and
Yeah.
you. And I turned up, I was the lighting guy.
Yeah.
I remember I had a real chill day on, like I didn't have a lot to do. And it was a dining table.
Yes,
scene
I
in this
remember.
beautiful old house.
About 8 years ago.
And you started chatting to me outside at the breakfast table. I think you train, bro, or something like.
Yeah.
And we struck up a chat and we had an awesome day.
Yeah.
Just kind of broing down a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was how. And then we sort of became sort of mates.
Yep.
We would catch up very sporadically, but we'd always train together.
Yep.
That was sort of what the thing was.
Yeah.
You came down to our old gym. We had a wrestle.
That's right.
And coming to your place over near Five Dock, we did some boxing and shit.
Yep.
And then, further to your involvement with us, like you've come and trained here, you've come to our
I've come
retreat.
here, yeah.
That time we spent.
Yes, I went on the trip with you guys.
JB
Remember that?
retreat?
We went
I
to
think that's when I met you. That was fun.
Palm Beach, around that area.
Yeah, Currawong, just over the way.
Yeah, that was a good time.
That was a
And remember,
fucking
do you
epic
remember
time.
the Wim Hof breathing exercise that we did?
Yeah.
You didn't see. I was crying. Do you remember?
I remember you telling me you went deep.
Bro,
A few people went super deep.
You don't understand. I woke up, no ego, just complete crystallization of like appreciation, right? No concerns, no insecurities, and just like being happy to be alive. Like
Holy
truly,
shit.
honestly, truly happy to go, I'm alive. And I just broke down, dude. I just broke down my whole. I went somewhere.
No fucking way.
Oh yeah, dude.
Lying
I was
there in the sand.
I was like, I started crying, and I was just like, and I kind of looked away because I didn't want anyone to see me, and I just looked away and I started walking towards the ocean. I'm like, what the hell is going on with me now? Like I'm in this, like. Like I couldn't stop and shit. I was like, what is going on? Because I've never, that was some emotional, because it's like a drill.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It's a drill into that emotional trauma, isn't it? Or that, whatever
kinda
that.
cuts through a bunch of shit.
Yeah. I lost it, man. I was just like, thank you, Joe. Thank you.
That's so cool. Because
Yeah.
that was such an impromptu thing, wasn't it? I think
Yeah.
we had a bit of time before breakfast or something. It was like, why don't we go to the beach? We'll do a few rounds of Wim Hof. And everyone's like, oh, what's that? Yeah, let's give it a go.
So good.
Someone else experienced something.
So good.
Was it a business? Someone had a business idea in that moment.
Yeah, they did.
I can't remember who it was.
Oh, really? They had a light bulb.
JT.
That's right.
What did he say? What
Yeah.
happened?
Was that where he created Jugo?
I feel like it was. I think he had the concept, but he decided that this is a real thing and that I should actually pursue this.
Yes.
Brilliant.
And he's
Yeah.
created a jiu-jitsu card game
So good.
off the back of that realization.
That's right.
Epiphany.
And then he's writing a book now.
Love that.
On the character.
I love that for him.
Yeah.
But it does it, like the theta state or the beta state and all these, like, how you have
Talking about Scientology?
yeah, all that stuff. It's good stuff. It puts you in, like, having a warm shower. You become creative and you like think about these things. But yeah, these breakthroughs, man. To tap into that real the kind of the diamonds, like what's without the ego.
Kind of the true self.
True
sort of,
self.
In a way, without sounding too Eric Ferry about it.
Without the all the blockages and the facade and these barriers that we create in society. The friendship barrier, the family barrier. Like you
labels
say,
and shit.
Hey.
Labels and shit that you have on
Labels,
yourself.
right? Like you say, you're an actor. I'm not an actor. We all act, right? We all do these things that we're different around different people because that's how we protect ourselves. But when you do like the breathing technique or when you meditate, when you kind of have these amazing outer body, but it is a true self. It's beautiful.
Peels it all away.
And I think that's the
Peels
beauty.
It all away.
Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of a retreat environment. Where that was like 3 nights. Right? It was like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We go away. But the beauty is that because you're extracted from your normal life,
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about any of the shit you worry about day to day, about washing your clothes or fucking doing shopping or making meals. It's all taken care of. So you're just there. So you're already kind of a couple of layers closer to yourself and to your realness. And then, there's no like, no one gives a fuck what you're wearing. Like just, and then you're training together. So you're already in, the beauty of the training thing is that you can show your true ability, which also exposes your true weaknesses, and everyone gets to see that. So it's all kind of breaking down these barriers. So then when you do something like a Wim Hof session at that time, I feel like it's like 10 times more effective than if we were to go downstairs and do it now in a class here at the gym, you know,
because you've positively primed yourself.
Yes.
Because you're in that pre-ejaculation stage of when you're talking to Joe Worthington and he does the old phallic motion of masturbating in front of your face.
You said primed,
and it makes me happy. It makes me. I love that for you.
I remember on the retreat distinctly you licking me up on the with the sparring.
Oh, I did not lick you up. Right. I did not lick you up,
mate. Ferocious,
chocolate-covered, beautiful man.
Ferocious, just like
ferocious. I love
ferocious. Hey, stop it. Stop it. I'll have to have a fight here in the jungle.
Oh.
Yes.
A boxing
We're
match.
chatting downstairs.
Bro, you got good hands. We've seen it.
Very good hands.
Let's do it.
And metal.
You've always boxed, right?
Get me like a 67, 68 kilo man. Let me just tear him up.
We got.
Have you got 67?
I'm sure we got.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Someone.
We'll find you someone.
Have you got a girl? I don't mind. Yeah. No. Oh man!
But this is
good to be alive.
This is what you're one of us in terms of like you love the training, you love the research with your training, doing different things. Even like thinking about you coming to do some wrestling with me at the old gym, all those years ago, and then you come here, do some fight factory, come to the retreat. Like you're open to things, and you like exploring your capacity, right?
Have to.
How does because this was always a thing for us in the film industry, which was you got no fucking consistency to your schedule or to your life when you're in that kind of game. How do you make the training thing fit for you?
Look, talking about the film industry, it is. I mean, sometimes because it's so inconsistent, it makes you depressed sometimes, you know, because it's like you want to be part of it and but you also want to protect yourself.
Yes.
As we talked about it before, and you're like, man, I had enough of it. There's people, you know, going through divorces, alcoholism, drug addiction. You know, it's real. It's real in that industry, right? You see it so often, right? But with my training, dude, the truth is what I'm going through now is I'm kind of pushing away from my industry a bit, where I have more control on what I do, and so I'm like in the sense that I'm passionate about my projects. So I'm not, you know, doing another TV show that I don't care about, and I'm learning lines I don't really care about, and the story doesn't really tickle me, it doesn't make me sing, you know. So I'm kind of going, okay, what am I passionate about? And it's personal projects like being behind the camera, being in control of the story. Like I'm doing I just shot a documentary with Dad. I'm about to finish. I finished editing it. It's great. It's just a personal story about him talking about, you know, as a 7-year-old when he was sent to work because he was the eldest out of 10 children, and he was sent to like thresh wheat and be a shepherd, right? And then he would run away from work and he would go to the school and he would rip like concrete. I mean, I'm telling the whole thing, but you know, you're going to watch it. You know, he would rip concrete bags and make them into like like a book, and then run away to the school, and he'd be at the window like learning. And then his father would find this out, and then he'd grab him by the ears and send him back to work.
Wow.
I just got him to fucking tell that story straight to camera. And I'm talking about it now. It makes me feel something. That's how I'm protecting myself. So I'm just slowly moving into that arena where I can tell stories that I want to tell. Because you see things that no one cares about, man. You know, no one cares about some of these stories. Like, yeah, I'm connecting, but I think there's more to be said. Like, I want to tell stories that haven't been told. But back to the working out, because you asked me about fitness, because I'm going on a tangent with the industry.
Take it there.
Fitness. But yeah, fitness is, I mean, like, I think when you get to a certain point, and I think you know this, when you get to a certain point of fitness, there's always thresholds to push, right? But my body, my physical fitness, I can always go there. I can get to that point. I can get further. But what I want to do now, I'm kind of trying to refocus that energy and put it into this. You know, the mental energy where I can, because as you know, Napoleon Hill, he says a mind that is energized and vitalized will never be sick.
I like that.
Never be sick. I believe that's a philosophy I believe in.
Yeah.
You know, people don't get sick if they're vitalized, man.
It's true. If you got something to live for, and
you're right, or even like I think the brain needs information, man. It needs new information. It's calling out for it, right? And you see people who are fit that get sick all the time. Why is that? Is it because their brain's sick, or are they just? There must be something.
Do they wear the mask when they go to the cafe?
Hey, do they wear the mask when they go to the cafe?
Yeah.
That's a whole different thing. How's that going for you?
Yeah, good. I like the mask.
I don't mind the mask. No one recognizes you, hey, Joe.
No one recognizes. I went to the cafe today and the guys have been talking about the Bick and his brother Sam, Suksam, and then I went up with the mask and was serving me, and they just kind of looked at me and I was like, "You're not going to ask me how I'm doing?" Some shit.
That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Good.
But yeah, go on, like staying kind of energized and having something.
I think
like
staying mentally energized, man. I think a lot of people are losing. Bro, mental health is such an issue now. Like it's serious, bro. I saw this thing the other day. It's a documentary and it's called Generation Wealth. It's about this photographer who's chased around, what people value in their life, and from Beverly Hills to stockbrokers and actors and porn stars and all this weird industries, right? And people, like, if you don't have a sense of yourself, you can lose yourself to this thing called society, man. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it'll eat you up.
It will just eat you up, and you'll become something that you've never actually envisioned. That you start doing something that's not even in your sphere or in your inner landscape. Like, it's not even you, but you become something that you're not. And I feel, social media, for instance.
Oh.
How do you protect yourself from that? Women. Like, we're good. But what about women? Dude, what about them? Like, have you seen some of these women on social media?
I saw.
Bro, there's Brazilian butt lifts. There's nose surgery. There's augmentations on a new level.
And then there's the filters on the with the stories thing. And
you got
girls,
Sephora.
Yeah, and it's like you can use these
Sephora Mecca, and then you got the filters on the Sephora Mecca.
Bro.
We know how we feel about the Mecca.
But like, for them, I just feel, honestly, like, the women that are keeping it 100, keeping it down and going, no, I'm not, you know what? I don't care. It takes a real woman to do that, bro. It takes someone that has the confidence and has the duende to
well, you
stay
wonder,
true, bro.
And I totally agree. You wonder if at our age, which we established we're all at 37, that, we have the benefit of having been around as mature humans before that stuff, right?
Yeah.
So we can see both sides, and we can see the absurdity of it and the addictive nature of it. But something we always talk about is, like, for kids growing up now, they know no other thing.
Right.
They only know social media and TikTok and whatever the fuck. So, even that idea, like you're saying, like it takes a strong woman. Is there even an awareness?
There has to be
Is there an awareness to battle against it?
There might even be a syllabus
20,
we can write.
If you're going to be 20 years old in 10 years.
Dude, there might be even a syllabus we can even construct. Something a formula, an algorithm we can actually write and say, listen, something to go. You don't want your physical self to be a manifestation of your internal decline, man.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want your body to change because you're up here, you're declining and you're miserable and you're negative, and that's what it is. I mean, what's enough as well? Like that's another addiction. Like if you don't feel confident in yourself and have a process, because that's what I think it is, isn't it? It's a process in which you need to keep for decades. That's going to keep you sane and not lose your mind and start, changing your physical appearance and being addicted to something because of trauma that you haven't healed from.
Yeah.
It's so tough because it's all very new. And, as in the internet, 20 years old, 20, whatever. It's actually 30 years old or something, but, it's all new. And I really like the point you made of the fact that we know life before it. So I guess with the young kids and with all the women shit and what you're talking about, it's a huge issue, and I feel strongly about it, and I feel very confused about it. And brother, I just had a daughter last year as well as just my children in general. Joey just had a baby as well on Monday.
Congratulations, man.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
get out of here.
Congratulations, bro.
Thank you.
That is some amazing amazing news, dude.
Yeah.
Little boy. And you have a I miss so much, but yeah.
But I think because we have seen life before and we have some sort of sense of self, if we're lucky enough.
Yeah.
I feel like, the adults of this world, or the mature humans, and we have a sense of responsibility. And I think that, we have a fucking sense of responsibility to do the right thing here, so they don't necessarily have the tools growing up. We have to be mindful about how we bring up the next generation type thing.
Amen.
As well as the companies, the leaders of the countries, they really need to be trying to look forward and building a world where, as we move forward, hopefully in less and less for a great part of the developed world, we want not for food and clothing, and these are the issues that you're talking about that are the most important ones going forward. Because at some point, we'll have everything that we want, but we'll be going insane.
That's right.
Like have everything materially and all that sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Man, it does. That's why I think about it. The reason why I talk about this is because I think about having a family, having kids, and going, okay, how would I explain this situation to my daughter or to my son, and how can I protect them from this situation and from the shortcomings of social media and being someone you're not, because this is where society is heading, right? And I was walking down the street the other day. I was thinking. Sometimes I do these weird things with myself where I say, I'm going to say good morning to every person I see from here to the location and see what happens, right? And I do that from time to time. I do these little mind games with myself to see their reactions, to see how I feel and how it kind of changes my day. But also imagine we live, right, in society where no one talks to each other. I was walking walking past this guy. He was cleaning a table outside this pub. Imagine we were raised in a society where we were all family, like human beings were like, yeah, you should talk to your neighbor and get to know everybody because everyone's trustworthy. Imagine
wild idea.
I just came and I'm like, imagine knowing because you're human, right? And we all look the same. You can talk to that species because we should.
It's a wild idea. But I have an issue with this specific thing that you're talking about.
What?
I just really hate the fact that
people that don't acknowledge your existence.
Yes, and I'm not blaming those particular people, but we're in a situation where
fuck 'em.
People won't recognize you, they won't look at you, or they just don't feel comfortable to talk to you, maybe because you don't wear the same clothes as them or something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it's across the board with all humans, because you can go to other cultures out there and it's much more, they're much more forthcoming with a hello, a recognition, an exchange. I mean, you would agree, it's that is the best thing about being a human, is like going down the road and having a random conversation with some guy who's just trying to park his car or something like that. And it's sad that we're losing that everyday interaction, as well as, you know, I mean,
fear.
Yeah, it's just
fear all day, man. Fear all day.
I pride myself in trying to talk to people that I don't usually get to talk to. I think you got to interact with children, old people who are into different things than you.
Completely.
Well, it's funny. It kind of goes hand in hand with affluence in a way, doesn't it? Because it's like once you got enough wealth, you don't need other people around you. You think, you know, you're like, well, I got my house, I don't need to know my neighbor, essentially. I live in Balmain now, and it's all that. No one says hi. Yeah, I'm always like, hey, how you doing? And people are like,
yeah, right.
You know, and often like people will like, you know, because everyone checks each other out. You walk past someone, you suss them out, right? Like always. But then people will make a real like obvious kind of gesture to look away from you.
So awkward, eh?
It's so awkward. And you're like,
it is awkward.
Whereas you go to a place like, I don't know, you go to parts of town that are maybe a little bit more humble, and people are fucking open to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they recognize whether it's not, I'm guessing it's not a conscious thing, but it's like they kind of, it pays off to be friendly with people and have connections. And like
just be kind.
It's good. Makes
be
you feel
open.
good.
No one's out there to rob you and kill you and you know, maim you. We're all here together. You know, we're all going through, you know, we have problems and frustrations and issues and insecurities and, you know, weaknesses and whatever. But yeah, it just came to me and I thought, you know, it's weird. It's not a wild idea, but the sarcasm is, you know, I see the sarcasm and it's funny. It's hilarious that it's a wild idea, but it comes from the government. It just comes straight from the top, you know. Fear these people, do that, fear this is a disease, condition this, pharmaceuticals, doctors, you gotta, you know, are you feeling sick? Are you fluey? Are you do this? How do you feel about this? Pharmaceuticals, man. People don't talk about fasting. They don't talk about maybe it will heal. Well, why don't you go to Africa if you have depression? Go to Africa. Are you depressed? You can't leave your wardrobe? Get on a ticket, go to Kaburu, one of the biggest slums in Kenya, and go walk in that motherfucker for a bit and see what happens to your depression. Like there's ways about governing your mental health or whatever you're feeling on the inside. And I'm sure some of it is legitimate, like some of the pharmaceuticals you may need to take, but no one talks about the other stuff because it doesn't make money.
So you were touching on the training
Kibera,
aspect.
Kibera. 2.5 million people live there. Kibera.
The training aspect for you now is not like, you know, and even what you're talking, like it's more about nourishing yourself and finding stuff that keeps you engaged.
Yes.
No,
I mean, I still train hard. I mean, I you know, I've been back to training for the last 2 weeks after New Year's and Christmas. You know, I'm running a lot. I've been running a lot for the last 2 weeks. I did some boxing. In about 2 weeks, I'll get to the place where I'm happy. You know, when I feel like I'm, you know, I can run 15K, come back, do a boxing session, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Where I'm fluid, I'm malleable. You know, I feel I'm at a good weight. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
You feel where you're at a good stage, or a level where you're not too far from being really optimum.
You touched on that earlier. You were saying that you kind of hit a level where you know where you're like, what I kind of picked up from you saying that was like you hit a level where you're like, I'm pretty good here. Like this is I'm pretty capable across these things. Tell me more about that. What is that actually?
What is that actually?
Yeah, like do you have that as in like, oh well, when I can turn up and do 10 rounds of sparring and I'm good, or is it a weightlifting thing,
Yeah,
or is it
I mean,
something that you feel when you wake up,
Yeah, I think it's a myriad or amalgamation of all those different feelings, and also I think it's married with what's going on up here as well. If you're in that, if you're meditating and you feel good and you're just sleeping well. I haven't been in 2020. I didn't sleep well. I was not sleeping well during that year, man, because I was just probably drinking too much and just locked in and in lockdown and drinking and having too much, staying up late, and the drink is not good for the sleeping.
So then you watch the news.
Hey?
So then you watch the news while you can't sleep.
Bro, I had fun, but no sleep through that entire year. It was just bad sleep. And I think that's just from lifestyle, But I'm an extreme guy, man. I've talked to you about this, right? I'm an extreme person. I just felt like
Extreme how?
well, if I'm drinking, I be drinking.
Dude, fucking one of the filthiest hangovers I've had in the last decade was when we caught up and went out to dinner.
Really? Was it that bad?
I was just smoked.
Were you really that smoked?
I was super smoked.
So you hardly. So you're in a good shape. You're in good shape.
Well, I don't drink a lot these
He's a
days.
shit drinker.
Is he really?
Yeah. I really
Good for you, man. I'm proud of you, bro.
Thanks, man.
It's good. It's not something you want to be good at.
Well, I like it is there's a small shame, like there's a small part of it that I feel I've lost, because I do like the idea of, say, every now and again going out and having a bit of a session
With
and having a bunch of drinks and talking some shit. And I still can do that, but I usually have about 2 or 3 drinks and then I'm tired. So it's like, you know what I mean?
I don't.
No? Really?
Well, Joe can tell you. No, well,
is it
classically in our 20s.
It's the Fijian.
Yeah. I'm your guy.
Keep sinking them.
Who he does?
Yeah.
Do you really, Paulie?
But you have there's 2 facets to that. You can sink them harder, but also you like pushing. You have a desire to push through the tiredness, and
you
just
have
keep
to
drinking.
want to.
You have to keep talking. Yeah, whereas I'm like, I just want to sleep.
You gotta want it.
Yeah. I'm a social butterfly.
Yeah, me too, bro. Like, it's hard to kill that guy. I just think those wolves, I need to cage, and I need to have the key for them, and I can let them out when I want to. I can't have those wolves running around the wild.
No.
Shitting and pissing all over the place. It just doesn't make sense to me anymore.
When you're busier, I'd say it's easier to cage the wolves.
Yeah.
Because you got to replace something with something usually.
That's right.
In my case, 3 children.
Yeah. I mean, I can't even imagine waking up to 3 kids hungover.
Well, you don't. You just sleep through it, and your wife gets pissed.
No, but you can't.
I don't go out very often.
The guilt would eat me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No, it's JB.
You'd be surprised at what you can enjoy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's harder though.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
It's hard. You don't do it very often.
Yeah. And you don't really talk about it as well. Like, you don't talk about your hangover.
Yeah.
In front of your kids?
Oh, in front of...
No.
Yeah. Dad's got... Yeah, I got a sore head. I don't wear it on my sleeve.
Yeah.
When you're in the household, it's...
last night?
Yeah, exactly. Can you count to 12? Yeah. That's how many
How's
shots
Daddy this morning?
No. When you're in the house, it's never about you. As in, they don't care. They just continue their lives.
Yeah.
Exactly as they do.
Yeah.
You just wake up to it and they're just carrying on.
Yeah, that's a trip, man. That's wild. Having kids, fathers now, both of you guys. Hey, how are you? What about you, mate?
Brand newbie.
Hey, brand
Been a
spanker.
father for 10 days, I think.
10 days.
11 days, 15th today.
Welcome back. Welcome. Man,
it's
how
gone
is
good.
it? How is it?
Dude, it's great.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a beautiful thing. I in terms of fatherhood, I don't have to do much at this point besides, help support Misa recovering from the birth and that sort of thing. Really, for Leo, our little boy, it's all about her, right?
Yeah.
He wants to feed every few hours and then he goes to sleep. So, you know, it's amazing.
Titty, titty, titty.
Yeah, that's wild. But he was trying to feed on Paulie's bicep last night.
Was he?
When Paulie came to visit, yeah.
They do that.
I was saying to the guys before, it's so funny because they're like this little, they're so uncoordinated, right? They're like this little, just a massive uncoordination. They got no strength. They don't know what they're doing with their limbs or with their face. They're just making expressions. But
like me and Paulie after a couple.
Yeah. But then as soon as they get close to the boob, like coordination kicks in and they just like beeline, like mouth open, latch on, I'm getting that milk. Yeah, it's like all of the, it's like such a neurological little thing that they have in that moment.
Sensory, taste, smell.
Yeah.
Pheromones or whatever that, whatever that's the
thing that attracts them.
Yeah.
They say that like a newborn baby, if left kind of on the mother that's sleeping, can kind of crawl up to it, can make its way up to it, up to the nipple.
Right.
Can like find it, can somehow.
Yeah.
It's the nucleus.
Like from the tummy, right? And they'll like scan.
Like, somehow they'll like inchworm it up there to latch on.
Oh, that's good.
But yeah, it's great. I'm enjoying
that's
myself
amazing.
so far.
And Leo, huh?
Leo. Yeah. Leo was my grandfather's name. Yeah. He was a cool guy. So I thought, cool name.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Tell us his middle name, Joe.
What's his middle name?
His middle name is Katsuhisa.
Katsuhisa.
Yeah.
Because Misa's your partner, right?
Yeah.
And she's, what's her heritage?
She's half Japanese.
Japanese.
She's Australian, but her mother's from Japan.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what was the middle name again?
Katsuhisa.
Katsuhisa.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That was Misa's uncle, who she never met him. He died when he died in his 20s. So she was her mother's brother. And so, she wanted to give him a name that tied him into that part of her family.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And what does it mean?
Katsu means, she would be the better person to explain it, but Katsu means victory, right? Victory, success, that kind of thing. And Hisa, I believe, means forever. Is that right, Paul? Is that
That's what she
described?
said, yeah.
Yeah.
Victory forever.
Yeah. Katsu also is like a fried piece of meat.
That's what I was going. I was going to get katsu chicken.
Yeah, bro.
Katsu chicken,
which is also
that's a goddamn good Japanese meal, right now.
One of the greatest meals that I had in Japan was with Paul. I don't know if you remember, in Hiroshima, when we went to a katsu restaurant, and all they served was katsu, like pork chop, and rice and cabbage, and it was like a little bar. And the seats at the bar, if they're taken, you sit back on this waiting bench. And then when someone leaves, you go sit. And then they go, rice, cabbage, pork chop, sauce. And then you eat it. And then they go, do you want more? And you go, yeah. And if you go, nah, they're like, get out. And it's mad. Do you remember that?
I think I had too many shots of sake. But yeah,
we were hammered through that whole
practical production line.
Right? But yeah, so there's,
Katsuhisa.
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 It's cool, isn't it?
This summer, Katsuhisa.
Samurai.
Man, amazing. That's cool, man. I'm glad you took your time and, because there's something to be, there's power in that name,
Well, in truth, we only had one name for a boy, one name for a girl.
What was the female name?
I can't even remember. It was a Japanese name. That was quite. It was a really lovely name. I can't recall. We weren't decided on anything. I think once I'd been like, we'd have that chat. Have you thought of a name? I'm like, no, nothing's come to me. And then I was like, oh, actually, I do really like Leo for a boy. And she's like, hey, that's a cool name. And that was as far as the conversation went. And then at another time, Misa was like, oh, I really like this girl's name. And I was like, that's a beautiful name.
Great.
And we kind of assumed that once he was born, we would have some time to, start brainstorming or inspiration rather. So we didn't rush it. But then the day that he's born, Misa was like, so is it Leo? And I'm like, oh, you want to go with that? She's like, yeah. And I was like, let's do it.
Easy.
That's got
easy.
something to do with
Easy.
lion, does it not? Some meaning.
Yeah, Leo is.
Yeah, in Latin, it's
Leo.
lion.
Leon. Yeah.
Yep.
Leon.
Yep.
Leon.
I don't know if that's
Is it-
Latin.
No, that's not Latin.
But
No.
it's-
But what's? No. Yes, I wasn't saying it's Latin, but yeah, it's Leo. Yeah, Leo is.
Star
It's
sign.
the star
I
sign.
don't really know.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
But
sure
you've
it
got
means lion in some
It's
language.
Latin and also
Latin.
Germanic or like it has
Germanic.
a German heritage, which is the same thing. It means lion.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess it's
Well, he's in good company then,
right.
because my name means famished lion.
Does it?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's got there's two names. It means Firass means famished lion. The other one means perspicacity, which means clear vision of the mind.
Perspicacity.
Yeah.
I fucking never heard that word.
I know perspicacity.
beautiful.
That's what Firass.
What does it
that's
mean
I
again?
Perspicacity means clear vision of the mind,
Cool.
right? And then the other Google meaning of Firass with one S, it's famished lion. But I get a bit of
And your heritage is Lebanese?
Lebanese, yeah.
Both parents?
Both parents.
Right on.
That's
You're
mad. I like that
Irish,
image.
Scottish,
Yeah, Irish, English.
Irish and Fijian,
Tongan.
Tongan. Nice.
I just got a good Christian name, you know. The Methodists brought all those names over to
What's
the
your
island.
but Paulie is short for
Polar.
Polar.
Polo's the Fijian way of saying it, spelt Paula.
Polar.
But on my
Polar.
birth certificate, it's just Paul.
Polar.
Yeah. My uncle's name.
Yeah.
Uncle's my namesake.
And last name?
Photophilia.
Photophilia. How do you say it in Tongan?
Photophilia.
Photophilia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, I think there's something to be said about pronouncing people's names correctly.
Yeah.
And we have a problem in
Dude,
Australia
in
about
Australia, we're so
that.
fucking
Like,
bad at
I'm about to eat this steroid.
How do you say your name? Is it?
People don't even know how to say my name.
I say. I'm going to do
It's
it.
Firass.
That's what I say.
That's
Okay,
what it
good.
is. Like, it's like photo,
so you rolled the R.
Philly.
Photophilia.
Photophilia,
Yeah, it's Firass. And my last name is Dirani. It's rolled R as well. So it's
Dirani.
Firass Dirani. You're rolling both R's.
Yeah.
But you
This
know,
makes people very awkward.
but it's like someone from like SBS, one of the soccer commentators, I think a while back, maybe a couple of years ago, is like, what's our problem? What's the problem
Yeah,
with
yeah, yeah,
Australians and not knowing how to say people's names?
Or not making the
say
effort.
the name.
You know what I
That's
think?
the name.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
That's his name from his culture. Say it. Don't make it comfortable for yourself so you feel comfortable and you don't know how to because you're culturally inept. Like, wake up. Come on. I mean, not wake up. Like, that's people's name. Is your name Matthew? We say Matthew. Is your name Gibran? It's Gibran. If it's Photophilia, it's I think, take ownership of your own name and don't feel uncomfortable saying your name in front of people because it's their responsibility to pronounce it right, not yours.
What do you, when you're in an Italian restaurant and they've got that type of pasta that's long and round, really
Yeah.
classic one, how do you order that? I'll have it's often typically,
The spaghetti.
is that how you ask?
But it's also, but
do you ask
also
for the
you don't want to.
spaghetti?
But also you don't want to. That's a good point.
'Cause you
But
look
you
like-
also
'cause
don't
you're
want
like, I'll
to.
have
You
the
also don't want to
spaghetti.
mock either.
Yes.
So it's about being endearing in the way you want to connect and engage in these certain scenarios. It's like when people go.
Name's a personal thing.
It's a personal
Attached
thing.
to that person's everything.
Yeah, it's a good point. But I do like speaking Spanish and I do like speaking Italian and I speak a few different languages and I do like saying it. I would say, how would you say
Yeah.
carbonara in Italian? Can you tell me? I would open up that.
Come si
discussion.
dice?
Can help me help me with this. Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
amazing. I like that. So you guys, I'm very interested in people's
Yeah.
cultures, man.
Here's what I've thought about this a lot because I've always shared this. Well, since I traveled, I felt this same way about names. That names are the name, and it doesn't change when you go to another country.
No, it's Katsuhisa.
Yeah, right,
It's Katsuhisa.
My son name gets fucking butchered.
dude.
What's your son's name?
Fehoko. or Feoko.
Fioko.
My mum calls him
Feoko
Hey,
or Oko.
hey, Fioko.
Oh, it hurts.
Put your bloody costume on, Fioko.
It hurts my ears. Or they call him Oko.
Fioko.
But here's the thing.
Stop, bro.
Bro, you're murdering that shit.
I think
You're
that
murdering the name, the culture.
I think that we have the reason that most Australians can't grasp pronouncing a word or a name as it's supposed to be pronounced.
Don't be a bitch.
No. It's because we only speak one language here.
That's right.
when
Culturally inept.
So when you only speak one language,
Yep.
you don't actually understand your own language. You just know how to speak it.
Travel. How
So-
about you travel?
So like say when my mum says your little boy's name, she's like Feoko. And I'm
Yeah.
like, just change the O to O. Like just change it to an O sound. Like
But what is it
Feoko.
again?
Feoko.
Feoko.
All you have to do is make it instead of O, it's
Feoko.
O.
It's
Right?
Feoko.
Yeah.
Feoko.
Change in shape of your mouth.
But
Yeah,
she's
that's
like-
exactly right. You know what
She
we do?
can't. She's like,
I've worked it out.
I don't get it.
We don't use our lips in Australia.
It's true.
We don't have muscularity in our lips. All this, we don't do that. Americans do a lot of that. They use their lips to shape their vowels. We keep it here and keep it right, you know what I mean? So walk down the street, and then when I bumped into Fioko, and he said to me, I'm going down to fucking jungle gym to,
Corner your
I'm
mouth
going to do a
drooped
couple of
again.
classes with
Couple daddies.
with old Worthless. And I call him Wortho, Call him Wortho.
Laziness.
Laziness, and that's
lack
what I
of
love. You know what
curiosity.
where I've gotten some of my articulation from is black entertainers, man, and being in this kind of realm, like seeing how they land on a word. Love that.
Example?
For
I love black
example,
entertainers.
I mean, like Eddie Murphy, or even though I'm not a big fan of Kevin Hart, like I like his storytelling, even though I'm not major on him. I'm not major, but I like his get go. I like his ambitious energy. I think he's
I feel the same.
I don't find him funny, but I think he's out there writing, and he's got a company, and he's doing his thing.
A beast.
He's a beast, bro.
a
He's
beast.
with Dwayne Johnson.
Yes.
I mean, Dwayne hits when he talks.
He's very articulate.
He hits.
As soon as you
that stuff.
pronounce
Joe
a word
Rogan
in full,
hits.
you sound like an American, huh? Like as soon as you say the word in full, you sound like an American.
But you don't have to say the word. You can say word. You know what I'm saying? You can say word,
there?
and the attention, what the problem between Australians and Americans is that we die at the end of sentences. You know what I mean?
Fucking hell.
So anyway, we're going to go down the street and
To the postie.
you posty, and like
Pay me
this
rent,
Joe,
Joe.
mate, Joseph. Honestly, what
I could
they
do
do
better.
But
I could definitely do
I'm
better.
gonna go to the post office, and then I got a call from Joe Worthington. He is such a crack up, and the energy goes all the way to the end of the sentence. That's the difference between Australians and Americans.
Do you do accents? I believe you do.
I mean, I do, but
I feel like I've seen you do some.
I do a few, but it's more like.
I'm not asking you to do
I'm not
one.
gonna
You
do
don't have
anything,
to.
but like I do like I like to imitate like
You got some
old
funny shit.
black entertainers, and people are like, is that racist? No, I do it in endear. I love them.
Yeah.
Like I grew up on black entertainers, and I think they're amazing. I don't do it like, oh, look at this, what this guy's doing. Like, I'm not doing that. Can you feel the difference? How some people
I do.
are condescending.
It's all about cultural misappropriation these days,
Misappropriation.
right?
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what's that? It's what your take is on the culture.
Yeah, well, it's a kind of silly thing because it's sort of saying that only certain people have a right to express a culture, right? Which in some way, like, yeah, that makes sense. But it's like, well, you're not black, So you're not allowed to imitate black people. But Paul's black, so he can imitate black entertainers because that's okay.
But can black entertainers imitate white entertainers?
Well, that's right. Like, of course, it's going to be treated differently,
but
right?
Isn't it about so you're saying the misappropriation?
Well, that would also be, theoretically, that would be misappropriation because they're not white. But then it's like, well, hang on a second. Is this just not someone that admires an entertainer also being an entertainer?
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously a line when, maybe talking about your mate with the tribal tattoos. Yeah. Right? That's a form of appropriation right there.
Yeah, right.
But maybe you met a Tongan guy once and it was, maybe he had a very profound impact on his life.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I mean, and especially if it's had a profound impact on your life and your career and your humor. I mean, people have made you laugh. Dude,
for the first time when I was young. That's right.
Again, and that's almost like the sound bit thing where someone jumps onto your Instagram and they see you talking like a black person and they're like, who the fuck is this guy?
Right.
What right does he have?
Yeah.
Whereas if they've been following you since you started your Instagram, they know, he loves black entertainers. It's part of his character.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's the whole fucking, the risk you run with putting yourself out there on social media. But I think
you can feel it and they can feel it too. That's the end is that you can.
But there's so many haters there. They've got shit going on, as you said before. If they hate you, they just want to, no matter what comes out.
Power Ranger trying to be fucking Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
The fuck out of here.
Dude, I've seen some funny shit on your Insta. I love that shit. Just the skits. My favorite thing on your Instagram is probably my favorite thing that I
put some time into it.
Right, you didn't even say anything on this post.
What backhanded compliment that is?
There's been a lot of shots fired.
You put some time in that. You put some time in this,
and that's all.
You put some time in that motherfucker.
Because you're a very talented dancer as well.
Yeah,
you can move.
No, which one?
I just remember, and it was probably not something that you might not remember, but I just found it. I watched it that many times because it made me laugh uncontrollably. Was when you were doing and you cut it almost like how Reels is now, but it's just cut, and it's you in the laundry and the washing machine squeaking, and it's going. And the washing machine's just going on to dry or something, and you're dancing to it, but you're like. You're doing like breakdancing moves. Your head's kind of articulating, and your elbows going like this, and you're like, and you got a hat on your head. We'll have to watch it after.
It's
this.
very
look,
that was in LA, man. I was bored.
It was so funny.
I was doing my laundry, and I remember this laundry machine was loud. It was just making the rounds, and it was. I was like, can you? Wonder if I can dance to that.
So Firass's mind sets up his camera.
I set up the camera and I just started dancing to the rust.
To the squeak. It's like squeaking.
The squeak.
And he's like, you embodied that sound pretty much. He's like,
and your eyes. People were fans of that one. But you know what, man? It's funny when this whole social media thing came, 10 years ago, Instagram's been around probably 10 years. I remember 20 years ago when I had the Nokia. Remember the Nokia bricks?
5210, 5110, what are we talking?
Whatever, 5110, 5110. Not the 61, 6210.
62 was the baller one.
Okay, so 51 was the one before it, right? So I remember I used to work in a supermarket, right? And I used to make videos. Remember you'd make videos on those things. Was there a camera on the 5110?
Not on that one. But
what was the...
I don't know. It was later. It was
later. Anyway, I remember I would make videos and I'd send it to 10, 15, 20 people just to get a laugh out of them. Because I knew everyone was going through something during that day, and if they get something, like during the day, midday, and they check their phone and they might get a funny little something in there in their day. And that's where it started, man. And for me, it's been since I was a kid trying to just make people laugh and give them something else than what's there to eat. Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
there's a lot of.
I love the one you showed me of that mate of yours who sends you he's doing little improvs, but he's always eating food and he's spilling food out of his mouth while he's talking. Who's that guy?
Who's,
He kind of does like an old mafia sort of voice, but he's like talking at the camera, talking at you, but he's like eating bread or sardines or some shit, and as he's talking, he's just got food spilling out.
yeah, right.
Remember
Was it
this
my
one?
mate?
Yeah, it was a mate of yours, and I think you then did it to me one time.
Yeah.
Because you fucking send me these things all the time.
No,
That's why I say you put the time into it.
We went through a stage where you and I were sending each other videos where they disappear over the DMs on Instagram, and would do these weird things.
Just talking shit, yeah.
Yeah, and they're funny because it does. It gives you a, I don't know,
Changes
it's
how you.
entertaining, man.
Yeah.
It breaks you out of your shell.
It breaks you out of your shell, what you normally do, you know?
Yeah.
You get to explore different sides of yourself, you know?
There's good sides to social media, obviously. Like there's good sides to it as well, like what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And I know lots of people who can't see the good side of it anymore.
Right.
But there is like
who? Some
like
friends.
Just some.
You would have known they got fucking
you know?
shit accounts. Exactly. Yeah.
But like
100
that's
followers. Okay.
That's
Unfollow.
how I experience a lot of comedy these days. A lot of little skits.
Yeah.
You know?
There's so much shite on TikTok and Instagram that I go, oh man, these guys can't even shoot. They can't even edit. They can't even act. They don't even know what they're doing, to tell you the truth. But they're doing it. Like even if like these guys that you're talking about, they've got 100 followers. Even if you have 100 followers and you enjoy what you do, like you actually have a laugh. Look, I have a laugh to myself before I send it. I'm like, oh, this is killer.
Yeah.
This is gonna fuck
The
them up.
one.
If I'm laughing this much, it's gonna fuck them up. If I'm, this is a, you know, and you send it. If it's not doing that to me, I'm not gonna, you know, bounce on it. I'm not gonna shoot it off. It has to affect me first before I send it. You know,
Of course.
Otherwise, you kind of.
Do you follow influencers in the wild?
No.
Do you guys follow that account?
I do.
It's fucking excellent.
It's very
Is
funny.
it really?
It is excellent. Yeah. It's
Without them looking like
it's just
they don't notice.
influencers. It's people catching them doing ridiculous
Terrible.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
it's people filming themselves.
I've got a fear of that.
Or it's like fail videos that I'm guessing the influencers send in themselves. Where
Yeah.
like, here's me when I fucked it up, you know. But it's great.
I've got a bit of a fear. If I'm shooting something one day of myself and someone else is
Yeah.
I've got a fear.
Yeah.
I've got a fear now.
It's like I know. It's like
What's
I know
the
a
worst thing
guy.
that can happen though?
I know
Get
a guy
on
that
Brown
popped
Cardigan.
up. I know a guy that
Dude.
popped up on Brown Cardigan.
Do more less. What is it? Heaps less.
Infamous.
Do heaps less.
I don't know. He was.
Is that there by there?
DHL. Do heaps less.
Bro, this dude appeared on Brown Cardigan.
Yeah.
Munted, pissing his pants.
Oh yeah.
It was like, dude, you don't want to go down as that guy. You know, I don't even know if he knows. I haven't spoken to him about it.
I actually appeared on Brown Cardigan. They put me up there. They took a excerpt from Underbelly where I'm in the hospital bed and I opened my eyes and they said, after a big bender or something, after a big bender, this is what you say. I open my eyes, I go, where's the boys? After a big bender, where's the boys?
We have to bring that one back up.
It's good.
To find that.
Repost it, bro.
Repost.
I can't find it. It's good.
Joe showed me the Wolf of Wall Street cut from SAS.
Yes.
I fucking love that.
Dude, because I was getting so much. I'm like,
That's so good.
That's so
it
good.
just came to me that night.
Oh, is it? You made that?
I
yes.
had my cousin next to me, Madge.
Creator.
Shout out to Madge, who's just an editing, content creating freak. But he was next to me, and I said, "Bro, I need to do something right now. I need to do something right now. I need to get back at him now."
That's
I'm
great.
like, let's
with comedy too.
Let's grab that and put it on the Wolf of Wall Street. He goes, oh, that's good. And he's like, grab it. He grabbed the footage from Instagram and the YouTube, and then he just put it together. I'm like, dude, that is gold. Send it.
Send it.
Yeah, he helped out.
I'll put that up on mine so folks can see it. It's
What's
fucking
that?
classic. That one, I'll repost that. That's a classic video.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Did you see their face? Oh, and it's funny. It's funny.
What's the future plans, man?
Future plans, more adventure, I guess. I'm collaborating with TikTok just for a few months, for about 8 weeks, on this project called Project Halo. They're attracting more people to the platform. So they saw me on the show and they're like, I think you'll be a great person for TikTok. We've got a budget and we're approaching some people. I said, okay, I can do whatever I want. She's like, yep, you can do whatever you want. I said, that's cool. So I'm doing that, 3 posts a week.
Building your own account or contributing
Building my
to
own
theirs?
account.
Okay.
So they invite me into their offices and they help me. They teach me how to edit on the platform. Because have you been on TikTok?
I haven't looked at it.
I have. Like not much, but I wanted to know it, so I made a couple of videos.
I haven't made any TikTok videos yet.
I feel like you're a content machine. You're so creative. You got so many,
But you know when they start paying you for it, it's not the same.
It's not the same.
You know what I mean? Like, after genius comes to you, bro. It's hard. I mean, it's watching these guys that, the Adams of Instagram and the King Barches, and these guys are doing
Who are these
videos like on the regular, like every day.
Who are these people?
Instagram famous comedians, Adam W. or and King Batch and another guy called
Worthwhile?
Anwan. Yeah. Anwar.
Right.
These guys are doing, they're producing videos every day. Like,
But they got a crew with them.
highly engineered, sophisticated, different, supporting actors and lighting and they're killing it. They've just got one thing on their mind and it's just like,
boom.
they're king of content, man. Like, and hats off to them because it's hard to do. Like every day, get up and be funny. Have you been on a comedy set before? It's weird, bro. After the first read, it's not funny anymore.
Of course.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Have you been on a set when it's meant to be funny and no one's laughing?
That sounds super awkward.
Yes. Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It's and how, I mean, these guys are good. You can change it so many times, but you're still doing it 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 takes. Can you change it up 10, 15 takes? Probably, if you've done the work. But most of the time, probably not. You're just going to do it the way it works, the way people are going to respond to you.
Yeah.
That your signature, your brand. That's your brand. That's your signature. They love that reaction. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to be Robin Williams with a motherfucker,
Does that make you change, like, say you're looking at there's people that run these huge accounts and have, all of the tech and whatever. Does that make do you feel that there's some kind of futility in you not having that? Or is that not what it's about?
I've never committed to it. I've never committed to my Instagram. I've never committed to it.
Yeah.
I've never gone, I'm going to make video a day for 365 days.
Yeah.
I've never done that. I've just gone, oh, that's funny. Let's do that. Boom. Oh, that's fun. Let's do that. If
I've tried.
It just comes to me, I'll do it. If I'm feeling inspired, I do it.
Yes.
If I feel passionate, I do it.
Yeah.
But if I don't, I just avoid. But these guys are machines, man. They're on a different level, But with TikTok, I think I got to do 3 posts a week. So what I'll do with that is go through TikTok, check it out, see what they're doing, the thematics, and all right, see how aggressive I can be with it or how kind of sobering I can be with it. Because everything starts sounding the same or looking the same, right?
Yeah.
Don't you reckon? Like when you see these kind of videos, everything start, they got the labels, they're doing the same thing, they're stealing each other, there's trends.
Yeah.
So because there's ways of cutting through. So I'll just meditate on it. I'll look through it, meditate on it, come up with a few ideas, write them down. Next day, come up with a few ideas, write them down. Hopefully, come up with 4 weeks worth and then do it again. That's what I'm planning on doing.
Anything else going on besides the TikTok collab?
So there's a doco that I'm doing. I was actually going to ask you about, there's a short film that I wrote. It's hilarious that I've got funding for that maybe you can come back to work on.
Holy shit. He wants to bring us out of retirement to light
Bring
it.
you out of retirement. For one, it'll be a personal thing, but you don't have to do the 3-4 days. You might do maybe one.
I'd get involved, 100%.
Hey,
Yeah.
you got to read the script first.
I don't really give a fuck about the script.
No,
I mean, I don't. Just want to help out, mate.
If
I was going to help
catering,
you.
bro.
doesn't
Could be
care.
there.
He doesn't. You don't care if it's going to be funny, good. You've
Well,
got good people.
I trust
What about-
you.
Oh, you trust me. What about if there's the cinematographer sucks or the directors? Yeah, you don't want to be part of something that's
I'm probably not going to know
cohesive.
who the person is
No,
anyway.
You don't care.
No, I trust you.
You're running your own ship. I get it. Bro, I mean, look,
I can hold a piece of poly for you. It's fine.
piece of poly.
Yeah, not a problem.
I don't want you to do that. Well, what would you rather do? You would rather be in front of the camera.
You giving me the option here?
Yeah, I'm asking you. Yes.
I'd rather be in front of the camera. Yeah, I think that'd be a fun
I
challenge.
knew it. I could feel it.
That'd be a fun
Yes.
challenge.
Yes.
I
Can you share your light though? Can you share it?
Blue eyes. Oh Lord. What's that? What were you saying? What were you saying? Well, what do you want to play a character? You want to play yourself? You look like you want to play yourself.
I don't know.
Hey, you want to play yourself, don't you?
Now I want to read the script.
Okay. All right.
This was the thing about being a lighting guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter what you work. The job's the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're putting up lights. You're doing the thing. You do it for good films. You do it for shit ones. You do it for ads. You do it for drama. It's like there wasn't any. You didn't get any kind of. There wasn't any extra. Maybe a tiny bit, but there's very little extra. What's the word, Paulie, that I'm
Artistic input.
Input.
That gives you
Yeah,
gratification.
creative control.
gratification.
Yeah.
Behind, between doing a good job or a shit one. And so you're like,
Worthiness, yeah. Gratification, yeah. I know. It's like what I could be doing this anyway.
yeah.
And what am I doing? Is it a story I'm?
And most of the
do I
time
even
it
like
was shit stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So,
Right.
So, but being on the creative side, then all of a sudden you have a bit of a finger in that pie, and it's like, okay, I got a part of this.
Absolutely. And I think when you get to a point where you realize that you're just a pawn on a chessboard and you just get moved around, traveling, you kind of look, you stand back and you go, okay, I want to be in control. I want to write it.
Absolutely.
I want to produce it. I want to pick the score. I want to engineer the score. I want to work with a group of people that are passionate as much as I am, and are collaborative, and also that I want to work with, because most of these people on a set, they're like, kill me now.
Yeah.
I need to pay rent.
Having a whinge about
Having
it.
a
the
whinge
catering
about
or
it.
something.
Yeah, everyone's, you sit in the makeup chair and everyone's having a whinge about traffic, or makeup is having a whinge about their family. Or, I'm like, really? I have to listen to this every morning? Like, this is how I'm going to start. This is my priming of every morning.
It's
Like, I mean,
toxic. So have you got a
Toxic.
character that Joe can mold into his own?
maybe.
He can read and work with you to maybe change some of the lines.
Yeah.
Maybe even change some of the scripts.
I got to pornify this character a little bit more. You know what I mean? Like, I need to
Pornification of Joe
pornify the
Worthington.
character a little bit, just to maybe just give him a bit more exuberance. Just come in there
Virility.
with just I don't know. But yeah, I mean, there's a few characters in there. There's 2 nurses. There's 2 waiters. It's about 2 senior citizens escaping a nursing home. It's fucking great. It's good.
Oh, maybe I could be one of the kind of the heavy nurses that has to like
The
well,
heavy
you know
nurses?
they've always got like the heavy nurse. It's like when one of the not inmates, but when one of the
Elderly geriatrics
start to misbehave, and they like bring in the dude, and the dude's like, "Come on, grandma, get the fuck out of here."
Come on, Grandpa.
Yeah.
You've had enough broccoli. But there's two nurses where they're betting on when this guy is going to die. So maybe you can play like a cold-blooded nurse where you're like a bit of a bitch, like which is completely different to who you are. You know what I mean?
I could go there.
You can go there?
I reckon.
Like dry. I need dry.
I don't know. Paulie, could I go there? Could I be dry?
Well, there's a challenge. Definitely you could.
You could do,
I could,
do
right?
dry.
Yeah.
I've acted in a McDonald's commercial
Have
before.
you
I've done
really?
some shit.
Yeah,
You've
he
done
has.
some shit?
I've done some shit.
Yeah, tell me.
He's good.
I did a McDonald's commercial. When was that? When did I do that? Love a taste test. Probably 10 years ago now.
10 years, yeah.
Yep.
It
Yeah,
played
what'd you
all
do?
through one summer cricket season.
Yeah.
Became quite popular.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that thing got turned over. So
Did you,
Everyone
did you
was
get
talking his
recognised,
name,
Joe?
his-
Did you get recognised in the street?
Someone recognised me.
Who?
I got recognised twice after that.
Did you?
Would you believe it?
Did you get laid
Yeah.
from it?
No. I don't think so.
What do they say? Hey, you're that
You're
bloke.
like, you're the guy in the McDonald's commercial. It's that kind of thing,
Yeah,
right?
right,
You
yeah.
would get this all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, I fucking know you.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and what did you say?
I'm like, I'm that guy. I'm like, what's up? What are we doing? We hanging out? What do you guys want to do?
What do you want?
Where's
What
the
do you
party
What do you
at?
want, baby?
Yeah.
What do you want? What do you want?
For 6
You want
months.
this? You want this? I know you want this. Yeah, I know.
Come back
it's
to my
funny.
condo.
Bro, where can people find you if they want to get in touch?
Well, they can find me. If they want to get in touch, they can find me on Instagram, Firazzle.
Is that
Twitter?
two Zs?
2 Z's, L-E, Firazzle. Yeah, I'm on Twitter as well. So you can find me there, man.
Cool.
Yeah. Do I give my address or?
You take it as deep as you want, my man.
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram. I've got my email on there too. My second email if they want to get in touch.
Cool.
Ask some questions.
I hope I would really like to see the doco, the piece you made on your father. I hope.
Yeah, you want to see that?
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Do you want an invite?
Sure, if you're doing a
'Cause,
screening,
yeah,
I'd
I'm
love
going to do a screening.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be honoured.
Yeah, cool. Yes, hopefully it'll be in like Feb, March. Be done.
Man, great.
Maybe get the cinema in Paddington. You know, the one.
Oh, yeah.
Chevelle?
The Chevelle.
Yeah.
There's nothing happening at the Chevelle, right?
No, that'd be frothy
be-
for something like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe collaborate. Say probably. I don't know how much it would cost, but get some posters up.
Get Margaret Pomerantz in there.
Get some you know some nibblies and some food. And I think you know what I was going to do. You know, you hear all about these artists that do free concerts. It's just going to be a free screening. Free for anyone that wants to come. I just put it on Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Free screening of it. I just want it to be seen. What's wrong with that?
That's cool.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Nothing
There's
wrong with
nothing wrong with strangers coming in and watching your.
No, I think it's a beautiful way to do it.
Don't you think? Just come in and watch. If you want to watch it, come in and see it and tell me what you think. All walks of life.
I'd
So,
like to come.
yeah?
Yeah.
Done. Want to have you guys there.
Mad.
Awesome.
Bro, thank you for coming on the show with us today.
Man, thank you for having me, man.
I look forward to hanging out again, doing some training.
Stop flexing.
I wasn't.
You were flexing.
That's a subconscious power play. I flexed, as I said, I look forward to doing some training.
He flexed at the end just to say, like, take that with you. Like, I'll leave you with that.
Thanks for coming onto my show.
Yeah. What happened to Paulie? It's not your show. And Teora's not here. Teora, he's trying to take the show over, man.
It's Teora.
This Teora. Hey, Teoros. Hey, Teoros.
This fucking
Where are
guy.
you, Teoros?
Spaghetti boy.
What is it? Teora? What is it?
I would imagine it would be
Teora.
Teora.
Teora. I want to say it.
Teora.
Hey, Teora.
I think so.
Teora.
Where
Hey,
is his
Teora.
son's name? Is
Hey, Teora. This guy over here he's trying to do some kind of Capitol Hill thing, man. He's trying to storm the government, man. Come back before. Thank you for having me, Paulie. Good to see you again, bro.
Good to see you too.
I love you, man.
I'd love to spend more time with you,
Yeah, bro.
whether it's in the gym or
You want to bash me, don't you?
yeah, you know, I want to learn from you.
You want to fucking take me to.
I want to figure you out.
You
Basically,
want to you want to restructure it, don't you?
yeah, I'm going to shed weight. I'm coming down to 67. I want to change your face.
I want to change your face. I want to bukkake your face. Hey, I'll leave that with you.
Yeah. Marinate on that, fam. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Thanks.
Cheers, boys.